Hi students, welcome back. Today I am discussing certain problems related with the rotational dynamics. Okay, our first problem. When a ring of radius capital R was allowed to roll down from the top of an inclined plane without slipping, the velocity at the bottom is v. Okay, a ring of radius capital R is rolled down through an inclined plane without slipping. The velocity at the bottom is v. Okay, what's the equation for the velocity? Okay, equation for the velocity when this ring which rolls down through an inclined plane, that is equal to v equal to root of 2gh divided by 1 plus k square divided by r square. Okay, here h is the height of the inclined plane and k is the radius of gyration. Okay, h is the height of the inclined plane, k is the radius of gyration, capital R is the radius, and small g is the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, and that velocity which is given, it's equal to v. If the experiment is repeated using disk radius capital R, disk of radius capital R, the velocity at the bottom would be. Okay, want to find out the velocity at the bottom. Okay, when we allow a disk to roll down instead of ring. Okay, we want to replace a ring by disk. Okay, in the case of ring, we know that moment of inertia I is equal to mr square. Okay, in the case of ring, moment of inertia is equal to mr square. From here, we can find out what about the radius of gyration. Equation for the radius of gyration is equal to mk square. On comparing these two equations, we can write r square is equal to k square. Then r is equal to k. Okay, radius of gyration k is equal to r. Okay, on substituting that value here, velocity of the ring, that is equal to root of 2g into h divided by 1 plus, instead of k we can substitute capital R, then r square by r square, that's equal to 1, then the value becomes equal to root of 2gh divided by 2. Okay, that is equal to root of gh. Now we can replace ring by disk. In the case of disk, moment of inertia is equal to I is equal to mr square divided by 2. In the case of disk, moment of inertia I is equal to mr square by 2. Then moment of inertia in terms of radius of gyration, that is equal to mk square. On comparing these two equations, we can write r square by 2 is equal to k square. Then k is equal to r divided by root 2. Okay, k is equal to r by root 2. Okay, again we want to substitute the value of k in this equation. Then velocity of the disk. Okay, velocity of the disk Vd equal to root of 2g into height h divided by 1 plus k square. K square is equal to r square divided by 2. Then r square divided by 2 by r square, that's equal to 1 by 2. Okay, r square divided by 2 divided by r square, that's equal to 1 by 2. Okay, then what about the velocity of the disk? Velocity of the disk is equal to root of 2gh divided by 3 by 2. Okay, root of 2gh divided by 3 by 2. Okay. Now we can compare these two values. Velocity of ring is equal to gh. Velocity of disk is equal to root of 2gh divided by 3 by 2. Again on rearranging, velocity of disk is equal to root of 4gh divided by 3. Okay, 4gh divided by 3, that is equal to 2 into root of gh divided by root 3. Okay. Root of gh is equal to velocity of the ring, that's equal to v. It is given in the question. Okay, so we can write 2v divided by root 3. Okay, 2v by root 3 is the velocity of the disk. Okay, in this question, first of all, we want to know what's the equation which is used to find out the velocity. Here the velocity v is equal to root of 2gh divided by 1 plus k square by r square. Okay, the second thing we want to know moment of inertia of the bodies. Okay, in the case of ring it is equal to mr square, and in the case of disk it is equal to mr square by 2. Okay, here ring and disk are given, so moment of inertia I is equal to mr square for ring and I is equal to mr square divided by 2 for disk. Okay, then on comparing this moment of inertia with the moment of inertia I is equal to mk square. K is the radius of gyration. We can find out what about the value of radius of gyration. Okay, then substitute the values of radius of gyration here. Then velocity of the ring is obtained as root of gh, and velocity of the disk is obtained as 2 into root of gh divided by root 3. Okay. Instead of root of gh, we can write v, because the velocity of the ring when it reaches the bottom, that is given, that it's equal to v, then 2v divided by root 3. That's the answer. Okay. Our second question, a body slides down an inclined plane in time t. Okay. A body slides down an inclined plane. Okay. In the case of a body which slides down through the inclined plane. Equation for the time t is equal to root of 2gh divided by g sin theta. Okay, we know that the equation for the time t is equal to v by a. If velocity and accelerations are known, time t is equal to v by a. Okay. When the body slides down through the inclined plane, time t is equal to velocity v is equal to root of 2gh. In the case of a body which slides down through the inclined plane, velocity can be written as root of 2gh. Okay, sliding body, divided by acceleration a, acceleration of the body when it slides down, that is given by g sin theta. Okay. Equation for the acceleration when the body slides down through the inclined plane is g sin theta, and the equation for the velocity is equal to root of 2gh. Okay, when it slides down. Then time t is equal to root of 2gh divided by velocity by acceleration. Acceleration is equal to g sin theta. Okay. The time taken, our question is time taken by the ring to roll down the inclined plane without slipping. We want to find out the time taken by the ring to roll down. Okay, when the ring is rolling down through the inclined plane, what about the equation for the time? Okay, time t is equal to again v divided by a. V is equal to, equation for the velocity v is equal to root of 2gh divided by 1 plus k square divided by r square. Okay, this is the equation for the velocity. And what about the equation for the acceleration? Acceleration a is equal to g sin theta divided by 1 plus k square by r square. These are the equation for the velocity and acceleration in the case of a rolling body. Okay, through an inclined plane. Then from these two equations, we can write time t is equal to root of 2gh into 1 plus k square divided by r square. Okay, divided by, the whole divided by g sin theta. Okay, t is equal to root of 2gh into 1 plus k square by r square divided by g sin theta. That's the equation for the time taken by the body to roll down through the inclined plane. Okay. From here we can write root of 2gh divided by g sin theta into root of 1 plus k square by r square. Okay. We can split that equation into two. Instead of root of 2gh divided by g sin theta, we can write, okay, in the case of In the case of a sliding body, time taken is equal to t. Equation for the time t is equal to root of 2gh divided by g sin theta. So instead of this value, we can substitute t. T into root of 1 plus k square divided by r square. Okay. Now, in the case of ring, what about the radius of gyration? Okay, in the previous question, we already discussed that in the case of a ring, moment of inertia I is equal to mr square. We already know that moment of inertia in terms of radius of gyration is mk square. And comparing these two equations, we can write k square equal to r square. Okay, k square is equal to r square in the case of ring. So, the time is equal to t into root of 1 plus r square by r square, that's equal to 1. That's equal to root 2 into t. Okay, root 2 t is our answer. Root 2 t is the time taken by the ring to roll down through this inclined plane. Okay, in this question, first of all, a body which slides down through the inclined plane and its time t is given. That time t is equal to, equation for the time t is equal to root of 2gh divided by g sin theta. Okay, time t is equal to velocity by acceleration. Okay, for a sliding body, velocity is equal to root of 2gh and acceleration is equal to g sin theta. Okay, so time t is equal to like this. But in the case of rolling body, equation, there will be a slight change in the equation. Velocity v is equal to root of 2gh divided by 1 plus k square by r square. And acceleration is equal to g sin theta divided by 1 plus k square by r square. Okay. Then velocity, on dividing the velocity and acceleration, we got the equation for the time t is equal to root of 2gh into 1 plus k square by r square, the whole divided by g sin theta. Okay. Now we can rearrange this value, this equation, root of 2h by g sin theta into root of 1 plus k square by r square. Okay. We can split, okay, that equation. Then root of 2gh divided by g sin theta. Okay, instead of this value, we can substitute t into root of 1 plus k square by r square. Here k is the radius of gyration. In the case of ring, we know that the radius of gyration k square is equal to r square or k is equal to r. Then on substituting that, r square by r square is equal to 1. Then t into root of 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Then root 2 into t, that is the answer. Okay. Next question. A disk which is originally at rest starts rotating about its own axis with constant angular acceleration 0.4 radian per second square. Okay. The angular velocity of the disk after it has rotated by 15 radian is. We want to find out the angular velocity. Okay, what about the values which is given here? A disk which is originally at rest. Therefore, initial angular velocity, that is taken as 0. Okay, which is at rest. So, initial angular velocity 0. It rotating about its own axis with a constant angular acceleration. Angular acceleration alpha is given. It's equal to 0.4 radian per second square. That's also given. The angular velocity of the disk after it is rotated by 15 radian is. Theta is also given. Angular displacement given. It's equal to 15 radian. Okay. Now, which equation we can use to solve the final angular velocity? Okay, for this we can use the equation omega final square is equal to omega initial square plus 2 into alpha into theta. Okay, omega final square is equal to omega initial square plus 2 alpha into theta. Okay, this equation in linear motion can be written as v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Okay, from this equation we can change all the terms into angular manner. Then omega final square is equal to omega initial square plus 2 alpha into theta. What about omega final square? That's our question to find out the omega final square. That's equal to, initial is equal to 0. So, omega initial square is equal to 0 plus 2 into, what about alpha? Alpha is equal to 0.4 into theta. Theta is equal to 50. Okay. From here we can write 15 into 2. 15 into 2 is equal to 30. 30 into 0.4. Okay. 30 into 0.4 is equal to 12. Omega final square is equal to 12, then omega final is equal to root of 12. Root 12 radian per second, rad per second. That's our answer. Okay. Next question. When a table fan is switched on, it makes 40 rotations in the first 4 seconds. Okay, 40 rotation. It makes 40 rotation in the first 4 seconds. Okay, time t is given. Time t is equal to 4 seconds. It makes an angular rotation 40 angular rotation. That is, for completing one angular rotation, angular displacement is equal to theta is equal to 2 pi. Then for 40 rotation, angular displacement theta is equal to 40 into 2 pi. Okay. The number of rotation it makes in the next 4 seconds. Okay, we want to find out the number of rotation it makes in the next 4 seconds. Okay, here it is also given that fan is in uniform angular acceleration. Okay, to solve this question, we want to use the equation S is equal to ut plus half at square. Ut plus half at square. Displacement and time relation. Displacement time relation. In angular terms, we can write theta is equal to omega initial into t plus half into alpha into t square. Okay. Theta which is given, theta is equal to 40 into 2 pi. Okay, that's equal to, what about omega initial? Table fan is switched on. That means it starts from rest. Okay, so initial angular velocity is equal to 0 plus half into alpha into t square. T is equal to 4 seconds, then t square is equal to 60. Okay. In the number of rotation it makes in the next 4 seconds. Okay, we want to find out what about the number of rotations made in the next 4 seconds. For this, we can write n into 2 pi is the displacement. We don't know about what about the number of rotations. So, we can write n into 2 pi. That is equal to half into, okay, initial angular velocity that is taken as 0 and plus half into alpha. What about alpha? Alpha it's uniform. Into what about the time taken here? Time taken as t is equal to 8 seconds. Because initial velocity that is taken as 0. Okay, from the starting position to final position, what about the time taken? Time taken is equal to 8 seconds. Okay, then 8 square is equal to 64. These are the two equations, equation number 1 and equation number 2. Equation number 1 and equation number 2. On dividing these two equations, 1 divided by 2, we got 40 divided by n is equal to, 40 divided by n is equal to half alpha get cancelled, then 16 divided by 64. Okay, that's equal to 4, 1 by 4. Then n is equal to 40 into 4. That's equal to 160. Number of rotations is equal to 160. From initial condition to final condition, number of rotations made by that fan is equal to 160. Then what about the number of rotation in the next 4 seconds? In the first 4 seconds, number of rotation. In the first 4 seconds, number of rotation is equal to 40. And what about the number of rotation in the second 4 rotation? That's equal to total rotation, that is find out, it's equal to 160. Then what about the number of rotation in this 4 seconds? That's equal to 160 minus 40, that's equal to 120. 120 rotations are made by that fan in the next 4 rotations. Okay. Here we want to use the equation displacement, angular displacement theta is equal to omega initial into t plus half into alpha into t square. Okay, angular displacement for one complete circular motion, angular displacement theta is equal to 2 pi. Then for 40 rotation, it's equal to 40 into 2 pi. Initial angular velocity is taken as 0 because we know that the fan is switched on initially. So initial angular velocity is equal to 0. Then half into alpha into what about the time? Time t is equal to 4 seconds. Okay, time taken by the 40 rotation which is equal to 4. Then 4 square is equal to 16. Okay. In the next 4 seconds, we don't know about what about the number of rotations. So we can put as n into 2 pi. That's equal to half into alpha into what about t? Time is taken as 4 plus 4. That's equal to 8. Okay. 8 square, that's equal to 64. Then on dividing these two equations, we got n as n is equal to 160. Okay. In the first rotation, it makes 40 rotation. In 8 seconds, it makes 160 rotation. Then what about the number of rotations made in the second 4 seconds? That's equal to 160 minus 40. That's equal to, okay. Next question. A wheel 4 meter in diameter rotates at a constant rate of 600 rpm. The acceleration of the particle situated at the rim of the wheel is. We want to find out the acceleration. Okay. Acceleration at the rim of the wheel A is equal to r omega square because diameter is given here. Diameter D is equal to 4 meter. Then radius r is equal to 2 meter. Okay. Again, angular velocity. Okay, 600 rpm is given. From that 600 rpm, we can find out angular velocity. Angular velocity is equal to 2 pi f. That's equal to 2 pi into what about f? F is equal to 600 rpm. We want to convert it into rps. Therefore, dividing by 60. It's equal to 2 pi into 10. Okay, 20 pi is the angular velocity. Then on substituting that values, r is equal to 2 meter, 2 into omega square is equal to 20 pi the whole square. 20 pi the whole square. That is equal to 2 into 400 into pi square. Okay, that is equal to 800 pi square. Okay, 800 pi square meter per second square. Okay, unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Then acceleration is equal to 800 pi square meter per second square. Okay, that is the acceleration. A simple question. And the next one is a body is whirled in a horizontal circle of radius 40 centimeter. Okay, radius r is given. Radius r is equal to 40 centimeter. That is 40 into 10 raised to minus 2. Okay. It has an angular velocity of 5 radian per second. Angular velocity omega is given. Omega is equal to 5 radian per second. Rad per second. Okay. Then what is the linear velocity at any point on the circular path? Okay. That's also very simple question. V is equal to linear velocity. We want to find out the linear velocity. Linear velocity V is equal to r omega. Okay. Already r and omega are given. R is equal to 40 into 10 raised to minus 2 into omega. Omega is equal to 5. Then it's equal to 200 into 10 raised to minus 2. That's equal to 2 meter per second. Okay. Unit of velocity is meter per second. Then V is equal to 2 meter per second. Okay. Next question. A 100 gram mass on a smooth horizontal table attached to 3 meter long string and is whirled around the horizontal circle at a speed of 10 meter per second. The centripetal acceleration of the mass is. Okay. We want to find out the centripetal acceleration. Equation for the centripetal acceleration, A is equal to V square divided by R if linear velocity and radius are given, or it can be written as r omega square. Okay. In our question, 100 gram mass which is attached to a smooth table Okay, 3 meter long. Okay. That means radius of the string is equal to 3 meter. Radius is given. And it is whirled around the horizontal circle at a speed of 10 meter per second. Meter per second, that means linear velocity. Linear velocity V is equal to 10 meter per second. That's also given. Then which equation we can use here? V squared divided by R. Then acceleration A is equal to 10 square divided by 3. That's equal to 100 divided by 3. Okay. 100 by 3 is equal to 33 point something. Okay. Approximately we can write the answer as 33 meter per second square. This is the centripetal acceleration. 100 divided by 3. 100 by 3 is equal to 33 point something value. Then approximate value is equal to 33 meter per second square. Okay. I think these questions are clear for you. If you like this video, please subscribe and enable the bell button. Thank you.